Here are 5 reasons why the Trailblazer Mentorship Platform by Talent Stacker is completely different than what you might be expecting in the best ways possible. Check this out. In the Trailblazer Mentorship Platform by Talent Stacker, the safety and comfort of the mentee is our number one concern. That's why we've put things in place to allow the mentee to have more control over the experience, starting with the fact that mentees actually select their mentors. Let's take a look at how that works. Once the mentee has been accepted into the Trailblazer Mentorship Platform, they are now in a hub where they are able to select a mentor. Initially, they're going to see all available mentors, like you see here, but all of these mentors may not be interesting or aligned with the goals that the mentee has in mind. At this point, the mentee will have gone through the mentee resource guide, so they will have an idea of their goals and what type of mentor best aligns with them. They can come through, take a quick glance at the mentors that are available, and they also have the option to filter, which we'll talk about in a future video. They find the perfect mentor for them. Let's say that they've decided Jordan Nelson is an excellent mentor for the goals that they have in mind. They can go ahead and click on Jordan's profile, which is going to show them a little bit more information about him. They'll have a short bio, more information about who he is and what his skill sets are. And then they're going to be able to view his LinkedIn profile if they would really like to deep dive and maybe get a better understanding of his work experience, the title he has today, the skills that he has, and the type of information he posts about in order to get a feel for maybe the way he communicates and if his vibe passes the check for what they're looking for in a mentor. If they decide that everything looks great, they will simply click the Book a Call with Me button, which is going to send a notification to Jordan letting him know who they are so he can review their profile, make sure he agrees that it's a good fit, and at that point, he can accept the booking request and the mentorship experience is off to the races. Through the Trailblazer Mentorship Platform by Talent Stacker, we're making it easier than ever for incredible mentorship experiences to be had by both mentors and mentees. We have talked to hundreds of mentors and mentees that have had mentorship experiences in the past where they liked some things, but they also didn't like some things about it. These are things like the mentor and mentee simply not meshing, the mentor not being the best person for the goals of the mentee, or the mentor or mentee really not being prepared to bring the most productive and efficient experience to the mentorship meetings. We've also heard about things like mentors and mentees both not showing up on time for meetings, as well as massive time zone differences, creating major efforts to just get together to have a mentorship meeting. I'm going to show you why the Trailblazer Mentorship Platform by Talent Stacker has introduced the opportunity for mentees to select their mentor and how they can filter to make sure that they're selecting a mentor that aligns with their goals, their time zone, and we can really make sure that the experiences that are being had are much more likely to be meaningful experiences instead of just a couple of people sitting around not really knowing how to get guidance or give guidance for that particular situation. Let's take a look at the filters that are available for mentees when they're attempting to find a mentor that aligns with their goals as a Salesforce aspiring professional or as a seasoned professional. If you look at the filters on the right-hand side, you're going to see there are quite a few, but that's because we want to get as specific as possible when we're talking about aligning a mentee and a mentor for a mentorship experience. With that in mind, we go a lot deeper than just how many years of experience do you have? What is your job role? While those are important indicators of value, they certainly do not tell the entire story. Many mentees and mentors come from a variety of backgrounds, a variety of skills, and a variety of interests. You could have a mentor who is exceptional with Salesforce administration, but they may not have an interest in mentoring someone on Salesforce administration. You may have someone who is exceptional with salary negotiation, but they're not necessarily interested in mentoring individuals in salary negotiation. So it's not just about the skills that a mentor has, it's about the skills that that mentor is interested and inspired to share with a mentee. So let's take a look at what we do have available. Under the job types, we can select from in-house, consulting, or freelance. So you can imagine if someone is aspiring to take their career to the next level and get into freelancing, they're going to want to select a mentor who has freelancing experience. If you know someone specifically, you can just use the search at the top and search them by name. If there's a mentor you're specifically interested in, you can go for types of roles. So if you are an aspiring professional who maybe wants to start as a business analyst or an admin or a developer, you would select those. If you're a seasoned professional who wants to level up into solution architecture, technical architecture, and so on, you might select one of these two options. So your goals and your desires as a professional are strongly going to indicate the type of mentor you want to align with. Coming down to years of experience, this can be beneficial. I would even advise that if someone is entry level and they're aspiring to become a Salesforce professional and land that first job, somebody with maybe 1 to 2 or 3 to 5 years of experience could have more relative or more recent experience with that path. And they may be somebody that you want to focus on, somebody with less experience versus talking to someone with 10 plus years of experience about how to land your first job. They may have all the experience in the world, but their ability to talk to your specific goals could vary widely by how much experience that they have. We also have Salesforce specialty skills. So these are specialty technical skills. So for instance, if you're someone who is aspiring to become a marketing cloud professional, or maybe you're already a Salesforce administrator or developer or analyst, but you want to level up into marketing cloud or any other type of Salesforce specialty skill, you'll of course want to try to find a mentor who has alignment with those skills. Now, we know when it comes to mentorship, it's about a lot more than just your Salesforce and technical skills. That's why we have an entire filter section dedicated to mentorship specialties. So you can see there's a lot of interesting information here. You might be looking to become a digital nomad. You might have English as your second language, and there's some barriers that you want to overcome with that. You might be interested in negotiating for more money or working US jobs as a non-US resident. There are a lot of things that go into mentorship, and there are a lot of skills that can help us align with the perfect mentor for our exact goals. Also, to avoid time zone issues, you can select individuals from the country that is either in the similar time zone to yours or the same time zone. This is going to allow you to avoid some of those pesky time zone issues where you get aligned with a mentor that's maybe 6 or 7 hours separate from your time zone. You can also, especially for entry-level talent, you can align with a mentor that has a similar background to you. So for instance, if you're transitioning from being an elementary school teacher into being a Salesforce administrator, then you would want to go ahead and select K through 12 as your background and likely Salesforce administrator as your role. This is going to help you really dial in and find that perfect mentor for you. This is why we've introduced all of these filters to create a better, more intentional, and more effective mentorship experience, not just for the mentees, but also for the mentors. This is going to create an incredible experience for mentors so that when a mentee requests a book with them, they know that that's more likely to be a mentee that they can actually have an impactful conversation with versus someone that they may not necessarily have the skills or the inspiration to assist that individual. Have you ever had a mentorship experience where maybe you were the mentee and you felt like your mentor couldn't really give you all the guidance you were looking for? Or maybe on the flip side, you're a mentor and your mentee came to you and they really weren't prepared. They didn't know what their goals were, or maybe they were just so early in the process that there wasn't much more that you could give them other than, hey, spend some time on Trailhead and LinkedIn and trying to get some experience. Well, with the Trailblazer Mentorship Platform by Talent Stacker, we've got 2 incredible resource guides to make sure that both the mentor and the mentee are fully prepared for this experience. Let's take a look at those guides and what they bring to the table so you can see why mentorship experiences through the Trailblazer Mentorship Platform by Talent Stacker are going to be much better prepared, and that means we're going to get much better results from these experiences. Let's take a look. To access the Trailblazer Mentorship resource guides, all we have to do is head over to trailblazermentorship.com. Here, you'll find an area to either look for a mentor if you're a mentee, look for a mentee if you're a mentor, join the Mentee Alliance, which means you would like to sponsor the platform, or what we're talking about today, look at mentorship resources. Now, if you apply to be a mentor or mentee, you're immediately going to be emailed the mentorship resources automatically, so you don't have to worry about coming back to this page to find them. You'll always have them available via email and accessible through the mentorship platform throughout your mentorship experience. Let's go ahead and take a look at what's available for mentorship resources. So you'll notice that we have two separate guides, one for mentors and one for mentees. This is because the mentorship experience is vitally impacted by the fact that we have to have a committed mentee and a committed mentor, not just committed, but individuals who actually understand how to facilitate a great mentorship experience. And that is based on the mentee and the mentor. A lot of mentees think that the mentor is going to show up and give them everything they need in order to have a successful mentorship. And that's simply not the case. I would say that as much or more of the impetus is on the mentee to understand their own goals, what they need to bring to the table in order for their mentor to be able to serve them well. So let's start by taking a look at our mentee mentorship guide. So here in the mentee onboarding packet, we're going to find a lot of information. So we'll start with the table of contents, which will break down everything that we have. I'm not going to go through every single aspect of these guides, rather give a high-level overview so you can understand how to move into these guides effectively. So we're going to give you some simple welcome messaging, the community agreements, basically, how can we make sure that we maintain a culture that is safe and comfortable for everyone participating in these experiences. We'll share the mentee expectations, so what you as a mentee should bring to the table, how to navigate the mentorship platform, how to prepare for your first meeting, how to set your goals and career goal refinement, how to track your progress throughout the mentorship experience, additional resources, and frequently asked questions. You'll notice that as we welcome you onto the platform and into this experience, we're going to make sure that everyone is aligned, and we're also going to be giving you valuable information like mentee orientation videos specific to what we expect you to bring to the table as a mentee. So you'll notice some great things like a resume, your LinkedIn profile, your Trailblazer profile, portfolio examples if you have them, and your written goals. And a lot of people struggle to come up with their written goals. So we've actually put information in place to help you understand what your goals are and how to prepare for your first meeting so that we can ensure that the experience had by the mentor and the mentee are extremely impactful and well balanced throughout the mentorship experience. We hope this helps, and we invite you to check out the mentee guide. Now I'm going to hop over to the mentor onboarding guide. It's very similar to the mentee guide in that we're going to give you some welcome content, the same community agreements, a little bit different with the expectations from a mentor, how to navigate the platform as a mentor, again, prepping for your first meeting, goal refinement and coaching a mentee, successful communication to help uplift individuals, and then understanding some of the struggles that mentees are going through so that we can make sure that we're being compassionate and empathetic when we're helping coach someone through what is often a really anxiety-inducing and stressful time in their lives as they're trying to take on a massive new challenge or overcome a goal that for many they believe is not possible. So we'll welcome you in. Once again, mentors are given their very own mentor orientation video, as well as access to the mentee orientation video so that you can see what the mentees are going through as well. You'll find that here. Again, prepping for your first meeting from a mentorship point of view, as well as mentee goal refinement. There's a lot more information in here, as well as additional resources, frequently asked questions, and more information about how to facilitate an incredible mentorship experience as a mentor. We hope that these guides give insight to the mentee and mentor that allow the mentorship experience to really take lift and take flight and move into a place where we're having incredible outcomes from these experiences, and we create a platform that is sustainable and enjoyable for years to come for mentees and mentors. I want to talk to you about the selection criteria and the process for how we decide who's going to be a mentor and who's going to be accepted as a mentee on the Trailblazer Mentorship Platform. This can be a bit of a rigorous process and is definitely the heaviest lift behind the scenes as we facilitate this mentorship experience platform. The reason for that is that we have thousands of mentees apply, and we have hundreds of mentors apply for these mentorship experiences. That's incredible, right? Because we have so many mentors who are willing to give back to the community, and we have so many mentees who need help. But we can't facilitate everyone because there simply aren't enough mentors to facilitate all of the mentees, especially at one time. Our goal with the platform each year is to facilitate at least 600 mentorship experiences. That means thousands of mentees are going to apply and only maybe 600 to 1,000 are going to get accepted. So how do we decide, first of all, how mentees get accepted? The first thing that we do is we make sure that they've put in enough effort and they have enough ground knowledge to actually get a great mentorship experience. What does this mean? It means if they've spent a little bit of time on Trailhead or maybe don't even have a Trailhead account yet, or they've spent a little bit of time on LinkedIn, networking groups, Trailblazer community groups, and things like that, but they don't have any super badges, they still really don't know which certification that they need to get first, and they're struggling with just understanding what Salesforce is, how it works, and what they need to do first, those individuals are more than likely not going to get accepted in most cases. What we're going to do with them is work with them through email support to help them get on track to hopefully get that first Salesforce certification, maybe even the associate certification, just to get them through the reps and understanding what is Salesforce, where does this fit in, is this something I really want to do, and what kind of roles are available for someone like me with my background. We're going to go ahead and help them get the support they need to get their LinkedIn set up, to get their resume created, to understand their transferable skills in a way that helps them set the groundwork for this mentorship experience. So when mentors who have gifted their time to give back, when they get assigned a mentee, they know a little bit more about what's going on. There's someone that they can work with, they understand their goals, and they can move forward through these experiences in a much more meaningful way. So that's why not all mentees are going to get accepted, and why just because you don't get accepted as a mentee does not mean you're not going to get incredible support to take steps forward. Now, on the other hand, we have to make sure that we're accepting incredible mentors. And one of the misconceptions that I've heard is that mentors are only going to get accepted if they have years and years and years of experience in the Salesforce ecosystem, or they're golden hoodie winners or MVPs, or have some kind of tremendous accolades that make them worthy of becoming mentors. But that's not true. In fact, we're expecting to have many more mentors who have somewhere between a year, 2 years, 3 years of experience. And that's because we're expecting to have the majority of our mentees be entry-level Salesforce professionals. As we go through this rigorous acceptance process, we are first going through the mentor acceptance process to make sure we know who our mentors are. And then we're selecting mentees that actually align with the skills, abilities, and values of those mentors. This is going to ensure that when mentees are selecting their mentors, there are people available that align with their goals. So you may notice that a lot more mentors with just 1 or 2 years of experience get accepted, and that's because they make great mentors for individuals who have no experience, who are trying to land that first job. Someone with 10 years of Salesforce experience and all of these accolades may not necessarily, they might be, but they may not necessarily be the best fit for someone who is just trying to land their first job. So we're going to make sure that there is mentor to mentee alignment in the skills and values of the individuals entering into these mentorship experiences. So for that reason, not all mentors will get accepted onto the platform. And that doesn't mean there's anything wrong with these mentors. It simply means that the pool of mentees and their goals is not aligned with the pool of mentors that are available. And we need to make sure that there is alignment there for the highest quality experiences consistently throughout the Trailblazer Mentorship Platform. Did you know the Trailblazer Mentorship Platform by Talent Stacker is actually sponsored by the community to serve the Salesforce community? What that means is not all of the funding comes from Talent Stacker. In fact, most of the funding for day-to-day operations, including individuals who are paid to facilitate support for the platform, to do web development for the platform, and to go through things like the Mentee and mentorship acceptance process, are all paid resources, and those are funded by sponsors of the Trailblazer Mentorship Platform by Talent Stacker. Talent Stacker does support a lot of the funding and facilitation, including supporting the web services and many of the staff members who make all of this possible. But we wanted to design this in a way that not all of the funding comes from one company. We wanted a more balanced approach. This is so that if one individual company decides not to support the platform anymore, that doesn't cause the platform to get swept out from under all of the mentors and mentees suddenly, causing a gap in the community that we are serving. This allows for a more balanced approach so that if one company needs to pull out for a moment and another one needs to join in, that's completely possible and allows for a more stable and solid foundation so that this platform can be available for years and hopefully decades to come. So we hope that this approach makes sense. If you want to take a look at our current sponsors, just head over to trailblazermentorship.com, and you can even apply to be a sponsor at trailblazermentorship.com. We hope that this makes sense as to why we need to facilitate it in this way for the betterment of the Salesforce community, to ensure that mentorship experiences are not something that are here today and gone tomorrow, but are in fact here to stay for years to come. Everyone knows that mentorship matters, that it's massively important to your success in breaking into professional Salesforce roles, as well as advancing your career as a seasoned Salesforce professional. With the Trailblazer Mentorship Platform, we are trying our best to lower the barriers to mentorship and ensure that mentorship experiences are always top-notch. Be sure to apply to become a mentor or mentee at trailblazermentorship.com.